please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where Are They Now? Today we are going to be taking a look at another creator I did not make a single video on during the year of 2024, up to this point of course. The creator in question is That Vegan Teacher, someone who has been active and most notable for their contributions on TikTok. Of course, drama with other creators. Joe Robe was an obvious one. We know how that ended with Joe Robe noncing like a pro. That Vegan Teacher, though, has over the years dug their heels in. They have been accused many times of homophobia and racism because of some of the crap they come out with. They just can't help themselves. And for the year of 2024, that is no different. And I thought, let's go through some of that, share it with the class, and see how they've gotten on this year. Whether this year has been a rip-roaring success for them, or whether they are finally in the well-deserved decline they have been working so hard to obtain. Don't forget to smash the like, guys. We of course need to begin this video by talking about her TikTok presence, because she shouldn't be on TikTok. You see, she was IP banned back in, 2021 or 2022? She was banned because of the Tommy Innit situation. She considered him a college-age student. She was IP banned. She went on to make multiple TikTok accounts, and at time of recording, there is in fact a That Vegan Teacher account with 1.1 million followers. Video viewership on that TikTok isn't great, to be honest. However, she persisted and through some kind of attrition is still present there. Congratulations to That Vegan Teacher. Now, for the sake of this video, we're not going to focus on this. We're going to focus on her YouTube content, because her YouTube content is where some of the dumbest crap imaginable comes out. The first YouTube video I want to show you was released in early March 2024, titled Coming Out as Vegan is Harder Than Coming Out as Gay. Now it has 21,000 views. Congratulations. 2.1k downvotes. I see the percentage you're working with here. That's interesting. The comments are not good. They're really not, because they point out an obvious problem with this title alone, and I don't even need to play the video yet. And that is that to compare either is to make a false equivalence. One carries mockery, yeah. The other used to carry some form of mockery, sure, it was used as a bit of a slur just to downplay your friend's sexuality, but the second one, sexuality that is, well, comes with real life consequence. Whether that be families ostracizing, whether that be, depending on where you are in the world, actual societal problems. In some places, a very, very distant drop and a final stop. Tolerance is important. Now, there isn't much in the way of tolerance for the vegans because of people like That Vegan Teacher. So let's see what she has to say on this. And if you do an appeal to authority, I'm going to point it out straight away.
No, I didn't come out as gay. Not sure where you got that from. I mean, I did come out as bisexual, like years and years ago, like more than 40 years ago. And it's not a big deal. You know, you're basically just telling people whose hand you want to hold and who you want to cuddle up with. It's not something that you should be congratulating somebody for.
Within the online space, we all operate behind the word optics. Some people believe themselves removed from it. She's one of them, because we know, the majority of us, saying something as silly as this opens us up to a mountain of criticism. Now, you can argue within the YouTube space, it's good, because it drums up additional interest. I mentioned the view count because, no, this doesn't really benefit you, and no one really cares about your appeal to authority fallacy. Your own lived experience of bisexuality means nothing in the grand scope of this. It does not make you an authority on men who identify as homosexual, or women for that matter, and any other sexuality, transgender identity. It really doesn't matter, because you are one aspect. You don't speak for everyone else, you don't speak for their lived experiences. Even in countries as enlightened as my own, a third world country, there are still many pockets of intolerance towards those who are part of the LGBT community. The only time I ever see someone who's vegan getting mocked is when they go and order a meat-free dish at a buffet that's entirely meat-based, or when someone tries it as a fad. It is not remotely comparable, and you know it. But victimhood, I guess, 101, or perhaps a bit of trolling. It's possible to be both mixed in together for maximum effect.
I believe that you should congratulate people when they do something good. So, for example, when you come out as vegan, that's doing something for someone else, for billions of innocent animals who are trapped on factory farms, live a lifetime of hell. You're trying to save their lives. That's different. That's selfless. That's compassion.
When you've been huffing your Canadian farts for as long as you have, no doubt getting your regular supply from Tim Hortons, it can be argued you are addled enough to believe that this is comparable. If you have any iota IQ points that could lend credence to the concept of critical thought, you would realize the folly of trying to compare veganism, animal activism, animal rights activism especially, with that of coming out as a sexuality.
When you come out as gay, lesbian, bisexual, you haven't done anything. You understand the difference?
Depending on where you are in the world, you have done something. You have unburdened yourself of a part of you feel you've had to hide from others for a number of years, months, days, weeks, hours. You are now trying to compare that with a global scale of change. While you may not have had to deal with the bigotry and intolerances of society, that is not something universal. What one does in the world to contribute towards the world is therefore not the same as unburdening yourself and trying to be accepted by those you love for who you are. These are two very different battlegrounds. But it's unsurprising you would go so far as to make this a part of yourself and your activism, citing the relevance and importance of one over the other.
Okay, when somebody comes out as gay, what should you say? You should say, oh, thanks for letting me know, because they've shared a part of them. But congratulations? That's not the right word. When somebody comes out as vegan, then you say the word congratulations. Congratulations on deciding to be on the right side of history. Congratulations on having empathy in your heart and acting in a way that will protect the innocent.
Owing to the cost of living in the United Kingdom, I can promise you the following. If, say, a teenager comes out to their parents as vegan, the parents will respond by telling them they are to buy their own food going forward, because buying things to accommodate for a vegan is a bit beyond their budget. Or they'll tell them that the bacon they're eating is totally meat-free, it was just excess on a pig that they were willing to sacrifice. There are other jokes here that all centre around bacon. Don't worry, not going to make them. They're trite. I know, so unfunny. However, it is worth acknowledging, your logic here is laughable. Your interpretation is almost in line with perfect comedic timing. Because if you were a stand-up comic and you did that to two people you were talking to in the audience, you get lots of laughs. And that's not just because one of them's vegan.
When you come out as gay, you're doing that for yourself. When you come out as vegan, you're doing it for others. It is a most wonderful thing because these innocent animals will never be able to thank you. You have saved many lives.
That has been proven demonstrably false. Farmers themselves proving the point that to maintain the fields for the vegetables and other crops, they would have to kill every animal that dared to enter their field so that you filthy human muggles could continue to eat how you want to eat. That came from the authority of the farmers themselves, who proved that point over and over again. But you seem blind to it, somewhat ironically. Now, that is all you need to see from that particular video. But don't worry, there is more to go through from other videos she produced throughout the year. Another great demonstration of some of the nuttiness in that vegan teacher's life comes courtesy of one of her live streams. Now, I can't show that live stream because somebody joined her live stream while she was, quote, educating people. While she was doing that, she was joined by somebody who then whipped out his ding-a-ling. You remember earlier when I mentioned she'd been banned from TikTok multiple times? Well, she got banned again for a week. Clearly they had at this point given up trying to remove her permanently. In this instance, that vegan teacher is partially in the right. I'm not saying she deserved that. I'm not saying that she deserved to be banned for what someone else did on her page. Because let's not forget here, the way that those streams work, it wasn't her fault nor her responsibility. Many people do not take the side of her because of some of the stunts she's pulled over the years. But if we are to apply any critical thought, the individual who whipped out his wang is in the wrong. I couldn't find the video on her YouTube channel where she discussed this, but it was on another person's channel called The Curl King, who went through the entire video, and I'm going to play a short clip from their video to give you context.
If somebody came up to your wife, or your girlfriend, or your daughter, and just randomly pulled down their pants and started to rub their private part in front of one of these people, how would you feel? Would you think it was funny if they came home to tell you? Or would you be somewhat alarmed?
Okay, because you did ask the question, and I do assume that you would like an answer. It doesn't seem... I mean, it might be rhetorical, but I will go ahead and answer that. I would be bothered. I'd be like, yeah, man, that was not a cool thing of you to do. I would not recommend you do that to any other women, and I will be promptly alerting the authorities and making sure that you are dealt with by the legal channels, the proper channels, and wish you well on your recovery to being a better human being.
Because according to the law, this is a sexual assault. And this is what happened to me on a live stream over on my TikTok channel. Before I go any further, if you haven't yet done so, make sure you subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss any videos going forward. Now, do you think that victims of sexual assault should be punished? Because that's exactly what happened over on TikTok. Through no fault of my own, I was just doing my normal streaming, getting people to read cards like this. Somebody came on and decided to reveal themselves and to do this in front of, I'm not sure how many hundreds of people were watching at the time, but in front of many. Following this, I was told that my account was now banned from live streaming for a week.
Now, while she is quite a consistent individual, certainly when it comes to her vegan activism, when it comes to SA, she's not. And this creator proved that point later on, showing how insensitive that vegan teacher is towards victims of SA. And I can't show that clip, by the way, YouTube. No. But this video will be linked down below. Do go watch it. It's very entertaining. Now, that vegan teacher also likes to throw herself into the political space because comedy, right? When earlier this year an attempt was made on Donald Trump, she made a video titled Trump's First Heroic Words After the Attempt, Let Me Get My Shoes. With a score of roughly 1 to 10, the likes dislike is not in her favour and the comments are certainly not on her side. Now, she does a quirky little song about the shoe remark.
Shoes, 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 shoes. Trump's first words after the assassination attempt were, let me get my shoes. Seriously.
But it's the part 3 minutes in where it has to be all about the vegans, right? Because that's the message. I mentioned the consistency, this is it.
And there are all of these people, public employees or whatever you call them, I don't know, they are around him. They are still trying to protect him. So they could easily have been shot. Now, a lot of people think that just because somebody is vegan, it means automatically that they are a left-wing person, but that's not actually true. There are actually many vegans who understand the right wing. They understand that our society has become too woke and insane. Many vegans actually believe that traditional values are good. We don't believe in all of this woke nonsense, at least not all of us. Many of us actually would vote conservative.
The amusing thing here is I could believe she's very much anti-woke, as she put it. I could believe that because of her stances when it comes to being accused of being racist and homophobic. I could believe that. However, the condescending nature of her delivery questions it. By the way, those that are meant to protect her, yes, It's called the Treasury. They are legally obligated to do so during the election season. The candidates are offered protection at all times, and him, Donald Trump, being a former president, is guaranteed it. Just thought I would insert that. That vegan teacher throwing her weight into the political space is an amusing one because it doesn't matter what the issue is, because by hook, crook, or some other way, she will find a way to make it about the vegan problem. Again, with the consistency.
Check this out, Chris.
It will be shocking for some people to know that creating crayons requires the usage of animal fat.
Animal fat?
Crayola crayons are not vegan?
Crayola crayons are not vegan?
It's quite alright. The green ones count as one of your 5 a day. The red ones taste the best. It's not such a good idea to follow up by asking where the brown one goes. Turns out, it doesn't go in. No. Now, I would be remiss if I did not include an obvious comparison to a historical figure, right? For this, that vegan teacher needs to address a comment from one of her videos.
Alright, let's look at a comment here that is in my comment section on my YouTube channel. This person says, the thing about her, meaning me, is that she only sees the bad side of people and not the good side. Like me, not vegan. I volunteer at an animal shelter every Saturday. Wow, what a nice person. So you volunteer at an animal shelter and then you go home to pay people to murder chickens, cows, and pigs, and then you shove them down your pile. Good work. I mean, hey, after all, I agree with you. We should always see the good side of people. For example, Hitler. Besides the fact that he murdered millions of innocent people, I'm sure he was deep down a good guy who said please and thank you once in a while.
I couldn't help but notice that message was typed out, so I have no idea if you actually posted it or not. But it tickled me a fair bit. And yes, for the sake of YouTube monetization, I did blank out the MURDERED word. How exciting of me. The one thing you can get a guarantee in her content is that vegan teacher is willing to go to the extremes to drive home her point and her message. And much like every other instance where she does this, it is resoundingly rejected, but she doesn't stop. It can be argued to be a commendable trait. It could also be argued to be someone so badly in their delusions they cannot see the forest for the trees. But that is a consequence of being that vegan teacher. Now, because that vegan teacher has to abide certain rules to maintain relevancy, this would include calling out Ben Shapiro for what is essentially mutilation of children, and by extension animals, for a discussion. She did that on TikTok and posted it to YouTube as well. Because of the nature of the subject, no, I'm not going to play it. But the universe was pretty much against her on that one, with some believing that she falls prey to reverse psychology with what she is doing, in that she's telling everyone to do something, everyone just wants to do the opposite because of the nature of what she suggests. Although in the context of children, yeah, no, I don't support what is called circumcision, ever. Just thought I'd insert it. She also accepted a challenge for Nick Ocado to spend 24 hours together. Now, as many will know, in 2024, Nick Avocado played a very, very long game and has done what many others within the sphere of world, hater or commentator or creator, is incapable of doing. He did it. No idea how at this point, but he did it nonetheless. She accepted the challenge though.
Hi, Nick Avocado. It's me, that vegan teacher, Miss Katie. I just found out that you invited me to spend 24 hours with you. I had no idea that you did this, and I'm so sorry that I never responded. I wouldn't just ignore that. But I never saw that you did a video about me because I just kind of tuned out. So many people do mean things about me, and so I never noticed. But in the comment section from a video several years ago, you said you want to spend 24 hours with me.
Okay, a couple things. Firstly, you do not tune out any negative comments. You respond to them in shorts on TikTok. In fact, you're exclusively doing that on your shorts tab of your YouTube channel. Second, several years ago, okay, I was going to say, are you mental, but I don't need to ask that question. Okay, I'm going to finish this video by saying the following. That vegan teacher is somehow still around. I don't know how she's done it, but she's managed to ride waves of controversy and still exist on all platforms. It is impressive and simultaneously embarrassing. But as she is a lolcow within the online space, she does benefit from a vaunted protected status that means as a creator, she is guaranteed interaction, negative or positive, and she is guaranteed to get the attention of anyone the moment she says something stupid, because her intrusive thoughts have to come out every single time.